Hello everybody and welcome back to my kitchen, John Hughes Morning Focus. And today we are going to make one of the simplest and most plentiful juicy meals that you can make. It's inexpensive and it is roast pork butt in the oven. It also has a bone in it that you can save later for your soups and things like that, or for a dog. And so real simple, let me show you what goes into it. And this will be about the shortest video. And I was thinking, what's easier, making a turkey for Thanksgiving or Christmas, or this? And it's really a toss-up. So let's jump right in. Okay, so very simply, you'll need a ceramic pan large enough to fit the roast while it cooks. It should be a couple inches deep. I guess this is one of those 9x14. It'll handle the oven and it'll collect any juice that comes off of this. And you've got the roast itself that comes wrapped in plastic, so you'll need some scissors to open it up. Good to have a rag or some paper towels because it'll be very bloody. And I like to use this seasoned salt that I get from Aldi. It's fantastic. And that's it. So open up the package with your scissors, dump out the juice that comes with it. If you've got a dog or a cat, they may love it. Mine does. And I decided not to show you that, but just that's what animals do in the wild. And then I put it here, and next I am going to cover it with the spice. See you in a second. Okay, so very simply, I will take my spice and I will put it on the entire pig. You'll notice it has a fat side, so that's going to end up being up. And I would pat it in, because otherwise it'll fall off in your pot, and you can just leave that there if it does. Pat it in, I guess some people would call that a rub, right? Do that on all sides. Okay. So once you've rubbed it on all sides, and then you will return it so that the fat side is up. And that's all the preparation there is. And then what you do is you are going to set the oven at 350. And what you'll do for math, this is a 5.2 pound roast. And you're going to cook this at 350, and the length of time is 25 minutes per pound. So if you simply do the math of 5.2 times 25, it came to 130 minutes. At 60 minutes an hour, that came to 2 hours and 10 minutes. So now I'll put it in the oven, which I have preheated to 350, for 2 hours and 10 minutes. And leave it alone, uncovered by the way, in the pan, just like we put it there after we put the juice on. So let's show that real quick. There is my stove opened up, and I'm going to put it on the middle rack. All right, so there we are at 350, and we are going to set the timer for 2 hours and 10 minutes. Start, and I will see you in 2 hours. We don't have to do anything to it while it's sitting there, and then I'll show you what you do, and we're almost done. Short video today. Okay, hello, we're back, and 2 hours and 10 minutes have passed by. The buzzer just went off, so I'm going to turn off my oven. And with oven mitts, because this is going to be very hot, always stand back so you don't get that blast of the heat. I'm going to take out the meat. And here is the roast. And we're going to just let it sit there. And take a look at what you see. You will see the juice that was released, and the top is kind of crunchy where the fat side was up. We're going to let it sit for about 10 minutes. So that the juices can kind of settle inside, and then we'll go ahead and cut it and taste it. See you in a little bit. Okay, so 10 minutes has passed, and now we're going to cut into it and see how it is. And basically, I just cut about pieces, and since this is a 5 pound roast, it'll feed about 5 people. It'll really give you 6, 7, 8, 10 good meals. And eventually now, this is with the bone in. Take a look at this. Isn't that just beautiful? Very well done. It's very moist and tender and mushy. Just absolutely fantastic. Now, you may see along the side here, there's a bone that eventually you'll cut into. And I have saved one from my previous one. It's got a real funny shape where you'll see it's got like strange angles, and you'll have to cut around that because it's right in the middle of it. And then you can save it. And what I do with my chicken bones, beef bones, rib bones, things like that, is save them in the freezer. And eventually when that fills up, I will make soup, and we'll do that on another episode. So that is basically it. It's absolutely delicious. I thank you very much for joining me today. You can accompany this obviously with whatever you like. I often will just have the meat with sauerkraut because I like to do keto, low carb. Sometimes I'll go for potatoes or maybe have a salad, but that's basically it. $3.50, 25 minutes per pound, and let it sit for a few minutes. Use whatever seasoning you like. I like the seasoned salt from Aldi, and you could also get a pork rub or anything, but the bottom line is it's extremely simple, it's inexpensive, it's juicy, it's plentiful, and I'm sure you'll love it just like my family does. So thank you very much for joining me in the kitchen today. Have a great night. One quick addition here. I told you about the bone, and now I'm taking all the meat off. So this is where that pulled pork comes from. That bone has that funny shape, so I'm literally getting in there, being very careful not to burn myself because it's fresh out of the oven, and I am pulling off all the meat that I can get from that bone. Anything that I can't get off will cook in the soup later when I cook the bone. So you'll just dig around all the bone and literally pull it off. Sometimes you might use a couple, and you might actually wait until it gets cold and then attack it. It's easier to deal with, and you'll just need your napkins and stuff so you can just dig in there and get all those little pieces and pull it out. So there you go. Thanks again.